Hello and welcome back to Confessions from the Backseat. Thank you for listening to the last one and thank you for tuning in again. My name's Andrew Dean, this is Carl Royal, and we are Confessions from the Backseat. So, Carl, as we discussed last time, you were getting me into the world of gaming.
Well, it's not that digital gaming. I don't really understand that.
No, board gaming.
The board gaming thing, or it's.
So we've given it a go, and
well, they explained the dungeon game to you, didn't they?
You did.
So we all went into the dungeon.
Yeah, and then we
together.
played the game.
We even got Christian involved.
We did. Christian is a whiz at these things, so I watched for the first few rounds, and then I tried. Going to be honest with you, I was ready to be not down on the game, but I was ready to be going, oh my god, what's this about? Found it was quite alright, actually. I'd like to have a bit more sort of personality with the characters that you use.
What you mean is, you want to get really into it and dress up as the characters, don't you?
Not dress up.
You want to do the role play. It's called cosplay.
Is that what it is?
What you want to do is dress up with the characters, and you want a big hammer. And
we've got a big hammer in the shed. In the new house, we've got a shed. I'm that old now.
Well,
we have a shed.
I brought you in on an entry-level game, a nice and easy one. I think it's quite an entertaining one. Welcome to the dungeon.
Yeah.
And it's just something if you've had a few beers and you were playing that, the money would come out. You could play that for money, couldn't you?
Yeah, I would like to, this is the warrior. It's Steve the warrior. He's going into the dungeon to rescue Francine, his missus. I'd like to make a bit of a story.
So what you're saying is, I've brought something that didn't have enough detail. I tried to bring you a nice easy one, and you want to go on a big role-playing adventure.
I didn't care about the characters. That's what I'm saying.
So it's going out of 10. Welcome to the dungeon.
First entry one, 6. I'd give it a good 6.
Good 6.
Good 6, because I've nothing to compare it to. The other card game I play is Snap.
Yes.
So Snap's an easy 5.
Alright, so anyway.
Yes.
It's Confessions from the Backseat.
It is.
In the first couple of episodes, you were really good at coming up with some good news stories.
Oh, right, yeah.
I quite enjoyed the golden ticket one.
Yes.
I'm still having... We put that on the Facebook.
We have.
So there's a link if you want to see what the guys look like who were selling golden tickets.
Yeah, everything we talk about we tend to put on the Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of thing. So you can follow us. All the address details will be at the end.
And we're on Twitter as well.
And we're on Twitter. You can come and tweet at us. That'd be very nice.
Any news stories?
Well, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on.
There is. Are you going to mention Mr. Trump?
Well, it's hard not to. I try not to, and I don't want to give it any more fuel to the flames, but it is really difficult when it is all that's on social media and it's all that's on regular media.
But he is very orange, isn't he?
Oh my word. I've never been prouder of the British public than I have been. They've all come out with the placards.
And the balloon. Did you like the balloon?
Oh, it was amazing. We don't, as a nation, we don't do going on strike. We don't do speaking up about the injustices enough. If you live in France, they're striking every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In the UK, we don't tend to. But when we do, some of the placards just brighten my day. It was amazing.
We don't like you. And things like that.
No. There was one, we shall overcome. Oh, beautiful.
We shall overcome.
Overcome.
Love it.
Yeah, there was another one. There'll be hell to pay.
Oh.
Again, these people are just everyday geniuses that have come out and they've wrote these on the placard and they're making such... That, for me, if they just wrote regular, we don't like you and all this sort of thing, it would fly by. Whereas now, it stuck with me because they were just so nice. And some of the other things, that they came out, I will post some on, and I think there's a list of and these photos, and I'll post them on. But it just made me feel so warm inside, knowing that I'm part of the British public that came up and did all that, and I'm so proud of you all.
And somebody sat at home and wrote on a placard, "We shall overcome you.
We shall overcome." It was just...
So that's the brilliant part
Yeah.
of what it is. But did you think they showed full respect to the American president?
Well, you see, you can see it one of two ways. The American people can vote for whoever they like, the same that we voted for whatever we want to do with the Brexit whole thing. But on the grand scheme of things, what we think about their president means nothing at all to the American people. It's their president. It's not our president. You know, so what we think, you know, there was people going impeach him and all this sort of thing. We have no opinion on it. No. What we think is not going to make an iota difference.
But Andy,
go on.
Did you see what they say the Queen did?
What did the Queen do?
Well, it was a big thing, wasn't he, with the Queen?
Oh, I know.
He stood in front of the Queen.
Yeah.
And I've seen some quite funny pictures that the people have made up where the Queen's carrying a golf bag.
Yes.
It's like she's following him.
She's his caddy.
So, yeah. So, but there was a thing came out yesterday where someone had observed every time she met him at different times, she had a different brooch on.
Right.
And the brooches all had different meanings.
Really?
Yeah, and so one was the brooch that had been given to her by Obama.
Right.
And it's like they're going, there's no way this can be accidents. One was a teardrop.
You'll be telling me next the Queen had a little black dot on her hand to say she'd been abused.
One was a little teardrop brooch.
Yeah.
And it came from a mourning thing. Apparently there's a picture of 3 queens mourning.
Yeah.
From years and years ago. And it's a brooch from that picture.
Right.
And then there was...
So she was technically in mourning when he
because
came
she was
over.
having to... And then the third brooch that she wore was given to her by the Canadian Prime Minister. So she wore everything subtly just to annoy him.
Oh, again, you wouldn't get that in any other part of the world, would you?
No.
It would be...
but nobody knows. Yeah, and that's the thing. And did she or didn't she?
Yeah.
Did she?
I'd like to think she did. She's got to have a sense of humour. She's married to Philip.
I know.
She has got to have a sense of humour because, love him or hate him, he has got a wicked sense of humour and he comes out with the most utter nonsense.
My favourite,
go on,
was when he saw the electrician and he says, "I bet there's a load of Indians round here." And everyone called him a racist and he meant cowboys. He just got mixed up.
It's an easy mistake. It really is.
You always get your cowboys and Indians mixed up, don't you?
Oh, that's amazing.
I like that. But this thing with the Queen, that's if she's done that on purpose, that's a little bit like the Simpsons thing we were talking about, where they've done it in reverse, and she's absolutely had him on a butty. So when he's walked in front of her, she's probably just chuckling behind him, going, But you don't know what brooch I've got on."
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that these all in jokes that they must do. You know, I mean, Harry and William must be watching her on TV going, "Go on, Nan, you give it to him."
With your brooch.
So it is. I mean, going back to the signs, I saw one and it was, "You can't build big walls with little hands." It was just amazing. I'm so pleased. It's just one of those things that...
I think we should have a competition. So who can come up in retrospect what those placards should have said.
What sign would you carry?
Yeah, which one were you carrying, or what would you carry?
Yeah.
It's you can tweet it to us or put it on the Facebook.
Yeah. You see, I always thought it'd be quite nice to do one and have loads of spelling mistakes and punctuation mistakes, like his tweets. The only way he'd understand them, wouldn't he? It'd be just... But, so that's been one thing this week that I found amusing and it's given me lots of joy, just reading the signs.
It was entertaining. Because he was yesterday when he came out yesterday, didn't he, saying he got mixed up between the words would and wouldn't. So you've got...
There's a Me Too case in the making.
And then he used the phrase double negative. And everybody, even journalists who, it's their job is to work with words, were just going, what is he talking about?
Yeah. I don't think he knows himself. I think what he does, he puts his mouth into action, and then hopefully his brain catches up. And I don't even think he switches his brain on sometimes. But yeah, so that's been one thing this week. Since doing this, I have made more of a conscious effort to sign up to like different news sources.
Right, okay. So
I signed up to an Australian because I thought, well, you know,
what they do down under.
Yeah. So just this week there was a guy that's been arrested in Australia for tampering with a horse.
Okay. Do you know? I know it's not a family show.
No.
But we did say that we were going to have limits on how far we took the humour.
Well, you see, what I found the best bit was his defence.
I can't think of one. Your Honour.
So, his defence was he wasn't intending to go and do that. He was intending to go and release the horses.
Relieve the horses?
Release.
Not sorry.
Not relieve.
I don't think that would have got him off, would it?
Well, it might have got him on. But his defence was it was consensual because the horse nuzzled his groin and then winked at him. So,
you sure it said wink?
That's what he said. He said the horse winked at him after nuzzling his groin.
Okay.
So I just found that his defence was it was consensual and everything was fine. So it's not a Me Too case by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't rape. She wanted it.
And she was a dog?
Well, no, horse.
Or a bitch?
Horse.
A horse?
Yeah, that's what I said, a horse. It was a horse.
Do you know why I just said that? I'm looking at your dog. Does that ever nuzzle you in the crotch?
Well, well, yeah, but I don't take it as a...
This is all wrong.
It's heavy petting.
Do you know when we said to Christian, put your hand up if we go anywhere where we shouldn't? He's not put his hand up yet.
Well, you know, I just think he's switched off.
So, I read this story and thought this would be appropriate for our confessions from the back seat.
Well, you asked me about the story.
Let's talk about the bloke who had consensual sex with a horse.
But
what?
The owner of the horse then goes on in the story to say that she's just not the same and she's become quite withdrawn.
Do you know what I'm worried about? I said that we have a picture to represent every topic that we put on Facebook. How am I going to represent this story?
Oh, well, now.
So, Andy, you've any other stories you want to talk about from down under?
Not from down under, really.
Okay.
I mean, there's been lots going on. I'm from looking at Christian's face, he's quite worried about what stories I'm going to be saying next, but I will tell you about a few things that's happened over the last few days and week or so.
Awesome.
I did go out with a few of our entertainer friends
recently. Did
you? Yeah.
Without me?
Yeah, I mean, it was a last minute thing and it was just round the corner.
Yeah, it always is, isn't it?
And yeah, well, that's it. And I mean, it's not as though you can just nip over for a quick pint. It was only an hour and a half chat. We're just catching up, and
you don't have to justify anymore that I wasn't invited.
I just didn't invite you. All right.
Okay,
I have got other friends.
I'm not feeling upset at all.
He has got a few tears. He's welling up.
So go on. Your friends.
Yeah. So we were talking about what we're doing, and obviously, you know, we talk about different projects we're all working on, and I mentioned about the podcast, and it got us all talking about what upsets us and what things that we don't like, and I found all the things they were talking about I've now noticed, and all their annoyances are now starting to annoy me.
Really?
So, yeah.
So they're annoying you, or just their annoyances are annoying
their
you?
annoyances are annoying me.
Okay.
So one of the lads was talking about the people on these DIY TV programs, or where you have a host and they talk directly to camera and they talk to the audience.
Yeah.
And they ask you questions but answer them. So one of the examples is, did I have a wonderful evening this evening? Yes, I did. Would I come back again? Yes, I would.
I'd like to put my foot through the TV. Yes, I would.
Yeah, so that's it. So questions like that, and I didn't really notice until the other day, but he was saying, because I don't watch that much TV, but after every programme now, it used to be once every blue moon, it was, if you're affected by the topics of the programme this evening, there's a line you can get in touch with.
A bit like the warning we should have at the end of it.
Yeah, a bit like the warning we should have at end
Especially when we talk about the horse.
Yeah. And so I didn't really notice it, because I tend to sort of watch a lot of Netflix and Amazon TV and that sort of thing. So over the last few days, I've made a conscious effort to watch a few terrestrial programmes. And after every single episode, because there's always something going in the episode that's a little bit, you know, whether it's some sort of abuse or some sort of problem, a drinking problem, or, you know, some sort of addiction or anything else like that. And it's all at the end of every one. If you've been affected by the issues raised today, get in touch. And I didn't realise how much and how often they put it now at the end. Whereas I remember as a kid, it was like once every 6 months you'd hear.
Yeah, but that's even. Do you watch much of the kids' TV channels?
No.
So if you watch Tom and Jerry, have you been affected
domestic abuse?
By domestic abuse? Or have you been affected by animal cruelty? Get in touch with the RSP. Did you hear the story this morning?
No.
This is all you have to look. If you look up when this story came out, you'll know when we're recording this. But apparently, there is, and it's quite relevant to what we do. There's a Punch and Judy guy has been asked to edit his script because schools and fates are saying that Punch and Judy promotes domestic violence because Mr. Punch always hits Mrs. Punch.
And the crocodile. Don't forget the crocodile.
Don't forget, everyone's got a crocodile in the house. And then there's certain schools have been saying, could you take the sausages out because people don't eat pork? But I don't know, how do they know the pork sausages? They could be Quarn.
They could be, yeah.
So it's,
I mean, have you ever been assaulted with a Quarn sausage?
They just,
what was that noise?
That's no the Quarn sausage, it's in me.
You actually made that noise.
It was spontaneous when you said the word Quarn, and sausage.
Oh my word!
I always thought the funniest bit of Punch and Judy was when Mrs. Punch came in and ate Mr. Punch's sausage.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to stop her getting battered with this, isn't it?
I think the world's gone mad when you hear things like that.
Yeah.
Because I love Punch and Judy. I don't know. It's just one of those things from my childhood. I don't know why I love it. I love... And the policeman.
Yeah.
The policeman comes in and stops the...
Yeah.
And the fact they throw the baby about a bit.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can walk down any high street and see the same thing going on, can't you? So it's...
One of my friends, a mutual acquaintance of ours, who does Punch and Judy, was telling me about a little bit of, I don't know how we got onto this, but a little bit of what they did with the baby, a new thing.
Yeah.
And in the baby puppet now, a lot of the guys, they put a balloon. And so Mrs. Punch feeds the baby.
Yeah.
And as they're feeding the baby gets bigger and bigger and bigger because they've got a balloon under it.
Yeah.
And then someone comes and pops the baby.
That is a bit disturbing. I'm disturbed at that.
I said, well, what they should do is fill it with tomato sauce. So when they pop the baby...
There'd be kids going away needing therapy after that.
What's wrong with that? That keeps the therapists in work. What's wrong with that? That's a bit grim, that
was
on the right stuff this morning.
No way.
Not about the baby in the balloon.
No, right.
But about the domestic abuse.
Really?
In Punch and Judy.
Well, I mean, we just mentioned Tom and Jerry, and we mentioned that. There is, if you look over, I mean, like Popeye.
The Roadrunner.
Yeah.
He spent his life chasing, doing nasty things to him.
They were all quite violent, really. I mean, Popeye would eat his spinach, and then, is it Bluto?
Knocked 7 shades out of him, wouldn't he?
He did, yeah. I have no idea what's going on.
That was my Popeye impression.
Is that your Popeye impression? I think you've tuned in on the right day. I think this is the day Carl has a nervous breakdown and just completely loses it.
Look, you said you wanted more impressions, and up to now, we've had a Quarn Sausage and Popeye.
If you've got an impression of a Quarn Sausage, again, please leave it.
Send it in.
What else have I been doing, Carl? I'll tell you what, we were talking about the things where you, at the end of a programme, if you're affected by this, that, and the other. Now, I'm going to tell you something now, and I don't tell many people, but I have an addiction, Carl.
I didn't know that, and I know you quite well.
Yeah, you know me quite well. And I found myself last night coming in and sneaking my addiction. And I know my addiction makes me ill. It makes me poorly. It affects me physically.
Yeah.
And I can't... But once I have some, I've got to have more. And it's so... Do you want to know what it is?
No.
It's cheese.
Cheese!
Cheese! I can't eat cheese. Cheese makes me ill.
Right.
But...
I love cheese.
I know, everybody loves cheese. But I find myself drawn to it. I got in last night and I wanted a little bit of something to eat. And I thought, I'll do some toast and I'll be fine.
Or melted cheese.
You see, that's it.
Cheese on toast.
Yeah.
With tomatoes.
No, don't tomatoes. Don't ruin it. And I found myself eating it, going, this is going to make you poorly tomorrow.
Okay.
But the compulsion to eat it far outweighed that I'm going to be ill tomorrow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And you can go into as much detail as you want.
Christian's face in a minute.
In what way does it affect you physically?
It gives me...
Would we need wipe away?
We'd need one White Charlie's.
If you don't know what wipe away is, you need to listen to our sponsor from the last episode.
Yeah, it does. It got to a point in my early 30s. I'm 30 now. In my early 30s, it hospitalised me. I was that ill through it.
Really?
It hospitalised me. Yeah, I was in for a few days.
Did it make you bleed through the eyes?
I was wondering what you were going to say, though, Carl.
There might be children listening.
There is. No, it did, and I had the test and everything else, and it was the cheese. Cheese makes me ill. It cripples me.
Do you have a favourite cheese?
All of it. All of it. Just
all cheese.
Just cheese.
Do you like mouldy cheese?
Yeah, I could eat any. Before I had this, I could have had any. But I found myself, I'm 38 years old, and I'm going, oh, if Claire catches me, I'm going to be in trouble.
How do you go? Do that again. Oh. Andy just before he eats cheese. Oh.
Does not everyone... Do you not make that noise when you eat cheese?
Not before I eat cheese. I might make that noise other times in my life, but not just before I eat cheese. Oh.
You see, that's how the addiction's got me.
Really?
It's got me... Oh, yeah, it's got me bad.
Has it?
Yeah. So now because, again, I sort of time it as well. If I've got a lot of gigs over the weekend, I can't eat cheese on Friday because I know I'll be rough over the weekend. So
do you only eat your own cheese or other people's cheese?
I don't milk myself, Carl. What do you mean, mate? Eat my own cheese? You think I sit in the garden milking myself? Carl's actually crying.
Oh.
You can't milk a magician, Carl.
I'm just remembering the Alan Partridge episode where he says, Eat my cheese.
Eat my cheese. I think we might have to have a minute. So
I don't know where this came from.
So join us after...
Carl's calm down. I can't do an impression of cheese.
Thank you for joining us again this week on Confessions from the Back Seat. I hope you've had as much fun as we've had making it. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And if you enjoy what we do or you've got any suggestions, feel free to leave us a post on there. We will be putting up all the stories that we talk about on there as well. And we look forward to talking to you next time. If you'd like to get in touch with us at Confessions from the Backseat, you can do that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and by email. On Facebook, it's at CFTBSeat. Instagram is the same, CFTBSeat. If you want to get on Twitter, it's at ConfessionBack. And email, it's cftbseat@gmail.com. Email, it's info@cftbseat@gmail.com. Confessions from the Backseat is brought to you by Cole Royal, Andrew Dean, and our producer, Christian Royal. Thank you.